Well, it was September 9th, 2020. Uh, Throughout the summer, we've been getting pics of some decent deer, and all of a sudden it was mid-August or early August, and got a picture of this deer with you could tell he had a big frame, but he wasn't fully developed yet. And then he had a split on his right side, so we named him Right Side. And it's a tough spot to hunt because you got to have the perfect wind, and we had a southeast wind, which is the only stand we have for that wind. And I heard that it was going to switch over, so I figured that now is the time, I guess. So I went in there. I was self filming and saw quite a few deer. Never even got a initial interview because there was deer on us right away. Had a small buck. I think we saw probably 15 does. All besides a couple came within 30 yards. And so it was a pretty exciting hunt. And then I looked over to my right, and the does kind of got spooked by something. I wasn't sure what it was. And then I heard a deer or a couple deer rattling or fighting. So I was already standing up because it was the last probably 45 minutes of sunlight, and I had bow in hand. I was ready to go. And earlier that night there was a little buck that came and made a scrape, and so I was thinking the whole time maybe he's coming to check these, or I was waiting for another buck to come. I just didn't think he was going to be the target buck we were after in the 9th day of the season. And we had 2 target bucks, and it was Right Side and the Big 8. And all of a sudden, they just popped out going on that alley, and the Right Side, he came first. So, I mean, it just kind of happened the way it did, and you'll see that. So, thanks for tuning in.
the big deer we call right side. And he is big. Biggest deer I've ever shot. Anything. I don't know. I just pray to God that we can recover him. Holy smokes. That was crazy. It's only September 9th. It's September 9th and we already had a small buck chasing a doe. Oh, it was just about ready to call it, I think. It's just getting to be sunset. We had a little buck come at the scrape. And holy smokes, there's still a big one right there coming. Anyways, the big 8 is still right there. Anyways, couldn't believe it. I never shot anything this early. Check this out.
Okay.
You on?
Yep.
Alright.
Hold it on a little bit. Yeah, you gotta twist on that.
Well, we got out here tonight and it was crazy. Saw a bunch of does. Bet we had 15 or so does come within 10 yards of the stand. I don't know how it didn't get busted, but heard a couple bucks fighting, and they come over in the spot I least expected, but we had a perfect wind tonight. So they come in and it was 35-yard shot, and I thought, he's gonna come closer because there's a scrape there. And there he did. And I mean, I made a decent shot on him. It could have been better, but we recovered him. And we had a hard time finding blood because of the shot placement and the arrow sticking in him. So we were just walking the corn strips, and I shut my light off and said a prayer and turned my light back on, and there was blood, and it led us right to him. So God does good things. Check us out next time on Soda Sportsman.